So, like I said, y'all, day 2 in Morocco was definitely the best day of the trip. See my previous video to peep our daytime activities. But anyways, after we came back from the Medina and rested at the hotel for a bit, we went out to the most beautiful restaurant for dinner. The entryway, decor, and lighting literally made me gasp. They had belly dancers, live music, a dance floor, and of course, excellent food. Dinner damn near felt like a party. After that, we caught a taxi to an area of Marrakesh they call the New City to hit this super cool cocktail bar with amazing creative drinks. There was even a section of the menu that called for finding your liquid identity, where the bartender would create something custom for you based on your preferences. The drinks were fire, the music was hidden, and we ended up getting several rounds of free shots because the bartenders loved us.
So this is part 1 of my experience of traveling in Morocco as a South African black woman. I want to do part 2 to be about all the things I loved about Morocco and why you should go to Morocco. But the reason why I had Morocco on my list of one of the countries I felt uncomfortable traveling in was basically, well, mainly it started in Casablanca. Don't do Casablanca, it's not worth it. We wanted to do Casablanca, like, oh, Casablanca the movie. No, we went to a mosque and we were followed, harassed, catcalled by men outside of the mosque. Like, they followed us, it was very uncomfortable, and we just didn't feel safe. Next, the cab drivers, they don't turn on their meters, and now the sun is setting, it's getting dark, so they know you're gonna be desperate to want to get back to your hotel. And like, we literally asked 5 different taxi drivers, and eventually we just had to pay whatever we had to pay to get back to the hotel, because that's just how they are. It's giving, like, you know, scammy kind of life. So we were so happy to be on the train the next day to Marrakesh. We moved to Marrakesh. It was a bit better as you move on to the smaller towns, as you go more further away from the big cities. You do actually feel a bit more safer and more relaxed. Marrakesh, we went to the night market, and we went to the market during the day and at night. And at night, we didn't feel safe at all. I had a woman flip me off, middle finger. I was just walking, bruh. Like, you know, just like walking, like taking a video of like the sky and stuff. And then next thing I look down and there's somebody, a woman, middle finger to me, and I'm like, okay. I definitely, like, I don't recommend going at night to the markets. I mean, we ended up having evenings at the hotel. We did go out once to another hotel to see my friend that was performing there. She was like a traveling singer, and that was a lot of fun. But in terms of safety at night, if you're going to like places like the market, it was a big no for us. I know my person we're traveling is 2 women. My friend was very on high alert, paranoia. We went walking during the day and we got lost, and there was a man, and she thought this man was following us. She almost like sprained or broke her ankle. Like, I could tell that she was not feeling comfortable or safe in Marrakesh. But as we move on to like Chef Chayun and stuff, it's a bit more pleasant because it's a bit more smaller and people are more friendly because you're in a smaller town. We enjoyed Fez, we enjoyed Chef Chayun, we enjoyed the Sahara. I preferred the market in Chef Chayun, but when you're there, when you go to the markets, be prepared to be cold. Some brown sugar, chocolate, Africa, America. I had braids in, Rasta. You get called a lot of things. You might be mistaken of being a prostitute as well, because I've noticed black female travelers always somehow being mistaken as prostitutes. But that's basically the part 1.
Scams to avoid in Marrakesh. Number 1, taxis. They are the worst offender. Always negotiate the price aggressively before you get in. Keep it moving when you see these guys, or be prepared to tip them. Tea when you're shopping actually is free, but avoid spices like this outside, they're bad quality. And always ask before you start taking pictures of someone's stuff.
If Morocco was not on your travel list before, I guarantee y'all by the end of this video it will be. Let me tell y'all what happened. God is great, God is good. Let us thank him for this food. Y'all, I had to pray on this meal again because honestly, this food was so good. Y'all see it's sizzling. Baby, I'm gonna eat that again. And I don't know who down to the spice shop gave my friend some menthol, but they was sniffing on it the entire breakfast to clear their sinuses. We spent a lot of time in the old city because that's where Riyadh was. I'm gonna give y'all a little glimpse of it. I'm gonna have to do a separate video because it was honestly so beautiful, but this is where you'll find all the different shops and street vendors and such. On this day, we went into the new city because we wanted to explore the YSL Museum. This is definitely a hot spot, and I I see why, because this place is gorgeous, y'all. After the YSL Museum, our taxi driver recommended we went to the Bahia Palace. And y'all, I just don't have no more words for how this stuff look. Like, do you see the freaking material? And all my friends look like baddies in these places. And the day would not be complete without this bougie meal that we had in the new city. The food was good and the entertainment was on. She rocked her hips and waved and sit. Now, quick speed round on some activities we did. First up was the sunset camel ride. Y'all, riding a camel is nothing like riding a horse, but they give us tea and these really cute scarves. And honestly, this was definitely a unique experience. We also did a cooking class, which was a very immersive way to learn about the Moroccan culture and just understand how they prepare their dishes. The ladies that hosted the class took us to their actual home, which I feel like made the experience even more special. And the food that we ate at the end was so good, y'all. The tagine uncovering is honestly my favorite part every single time. Being black and hot in Portugal and Morocco may be over, but baby, the black and hot adventures never end. I'll see y'all back in NYC.
So this is my day one in Marrakesh. I'm basically getting the plane from Manchester, landed in Marrakesh. We haven't done this before. I don't know why I screamed. We landed in Marrakesh and then we went. This is the airport. The airport was actually amazing. So this is it. This is Erin. We'll say hi. Yeah, we're driving to the hotel, the resort, all inclusive, baby. You can see it now. Look at it, looking good. Got some complimentary drinks when we arrived. These were really nice. Then we decided to take a look at the hotel, but we went quad biking. This is the pool. Got some drinks, you know, if we went quad biking. Look at the size of the shops. I know, it's a lot. Yeah, so this is us in the desert. Quad biking, saw some camels. These were the views. The desert was so beautiful, but yeah. And they, you know, this is again some views and whatnot. Then went back to the hotel. It was nighttime, you know, views, pearl. Look at the resort. It was gorgeous. Some views, and then we got more drinks because that's what we do when we go all inclusive.
Hi, I'm a lazy traveller, so I just turned up, and luckily I didn't have any issues. Could be because it was off-peak. Then I met some taxi drivers, organised these 3 activities. I only had to let them know the day before because they were far away, but I didn't have to pay until I got there. Free hotel.
Here are my top 5 things to do in Marrakesh. Starting off with Uzi Waterfalls. It's quite a long drive, so you want to make it a day trip, but once you get there, you can take a boat ride, beat the monkeys, and dine with this beautiful view. Next is the Medina, where there's so much on offer. There's oils, art, spices, dyes, textiles, and as a tourist, everyone is trying to sell you something, sometimes overpriced, so if you know how to haggle, now is your time. Coming in at number 3, we have camel riding. This is a great way to experience Agafay Desert. Definitely a cool memory. I was really out here trying to get a camel to take a selfie with me. Ciao. Anyways, it was great. Would recommend. Next on my list is a sunrise hot air balloon. This was such a unique experience that I could do a whole video just talking about it. But if you love relaxing, beautiful views, this is the one for you. I realized I'm more of an adrenaline junkie, so if you are too, then your number 1 thing should be quad biking. Now, this is something that you can do in many different countries, but there's something so exhilarating about quad biking through the desert. This was the highlight of my trip, and even the tour guide just adding the sweetness on top of the sweetness. That photo shoot, it was a photo shoot for me. It was the unprovoked cinematography for me. Anyways, my Nigerian accent is coming up. Follow for more, Sha.
If you are a woman thinking about traveling solo to Marrakesh, Morocco, here are 10 solo travel safety tips for you.
Number 1, pre-book an airport pickup for when you land. I pre-booked through my accommodation and my driver dropped me directly to my accommodation door because I was staying in the Medina. But you can also pre-book a car via Get Your Guide and etc. Number 2, get an eSIM or a SIM when you land. There'll be different telecom kiosks at the airport. Get a data plan so that you are fully reachable on your trip. Number 3, download Maps.me. This was recommended to me by my accommodation. Maps.me is an offline map which is fully optimized for Marrakesh, so it's much better than Google Maps and it's really helpful if you're staying in Medina. Number 4, I don't recommend roaming around the Medina alleys late at night by yourself. Number 5, I don't recommend taking directions from people and having people take you to places, because if they help you they will ask you for money, and they can get a bit aggressive if you don't want to pay.
Number 6, when looking at accommodations on websites like booking.com and Expedia, filter the reviews to solo travelers so you can see what the experience was like when staying there. Number 7, get a portable door lock and an alarm door wedge. Number 8, join on 2-day group trip. So I did a half-day tour to explore like the souks in downtown Marrakesh, and I also did a dinner in the desert, and I booked these on Get Your Guide and Airbnb experience experiences. And number 9, I recommend dressing modestly to not draw attention to yourself since you are by yourself. And number 10, I personally don't recommend Marrakesh for a first time solo trip. Obviously, if that's what you want to do, you can do it. But I would recommend staying in like a resort type of hotel and then joining group trips if it is your first time traveling solo. I hope these tips have been helpful, and follow for more travel inspo.
So I made an itinerary for our Morocco trip, and I listed a bunch of restaurants, lounges and nightclubs, which obviously we didn't get to attend all, but I'll list down the ones where I did in the comment section, and hopefully this will be helpful.
The story is not that interesting, but I got you. And I do want to start by saying that, like, literally everywhere is racist. Everywhere can be racist. This is just where I personally experienced racism outside of the USA. So I went to Marrakesh, Morocco. I went with my friend Mo. He's also black as well. And this is the hairstyle that I had at the time. It's just passion twists. And you can see it a little better here. It like went all the way down to my butt. So because of the hairstyle that I wore, like everybody called me Rasta girl. Like it didn't matter if they were talking to me. I could hear them talking about me and they would just refer to me as the Rasta. And on several occasions, like way too many occasions, we were called a nigger. A nigger. Like literally just walking past somebody and they would go nigger. And like pretty much every other black person, I've experienced racism in the US, but it's always been like provoked. Like I would do something and then they would say nigger. In Marrakesh, it was like the word was written on my forehead and that was my name. 10 out of 10 would not go back.
Don't let people tell you can't wear what you want in Morocco. This is how I got away with wearing these kind of outfits in Morocco. You know you can't be showing skin like this. That looks so good. Most of these outfits are from Shein, by the way. So first and foremost, it matters where you're going. If you go straight from your hotel to a western place like Nikki Beach, you're actually going to be absolutely fine. But the number one thing I've learned from all my trips to Morocco is that you need to bring an extra large scarf so that you can wear whatever outfits you want to wear, and then just use the scarf to cover yourself when you go out in public. Simple.
So as I expected, this was highly requested. But before I get into what happened in Morocco, I want to put a disclaimer out there that what I am about to share does not reflect the entire country of Morocco. It does not reflect every Moroccan person. There are bad people all over the world. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, let's get into it. One afternoon, I was in Marrakesh with one of my girlfriends, and I asked her to take a photo of me in front of the photography museum. And she's snapping the photos. As she's snapping the photo, sorry, I got triggered all over again. This older Moroccan man, he had to be well into his 50s, might have been his 60s. He taps her on the shoulder and he says, "Excuse me." And then he points at me and says, "How much for this one?" We were both puzzled because we didn't want to believe what we just heard. Thought he might have said something else. And she's like, my friend goes, "What did you say?" And he said, "How much for this one?" And he's pointing directly at me. And she was like, "You're very disrespectful." And then I just was so stunned and I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. Remember, I'm a black woman in a foreign country. So I'm just standing there like, this man thinks I'm a prostitute? Then I just said, you know what? I don't even want to be here anymore. Didn't want to go in the museum anymore. Didn't want to take the photo anymore. And as we were starting to walk away, he starts yelling out numbers, saying 200 dirham, 400 dirham, like naming prices that he's willing to pay for me. And for context, not that it even matters, but this is the outfit that I was wearing. As you can see, all I'm showing is my arms. And this is what this man said to me. It is obviously very clear that he only said this because I was a black woman. I got so upset, I just kind of cleared the day. I didn't want to be outside anymore. And I went back to my hotel and they expected us to be out for the day because that's what we told them. And then when I explained what happened, you know, they were extremely apologetic. You know, they apologized on this man's behalf multiple times. And they let me know that that is not everyone in Morocco. Some men are just trash. I would walk around in the street again, covered up. I even actually wore like a full caftan, like a long sleeve caftan, just to see if that would make a difference. Nope, still was called African, in an African country, mind you. Yeah, it was very, very, it was a strange experience. And please understand that I am just one person. I don't want someone to watch this and say, well, I'm not going to Morocco, because I know plenty of other people who went to Morocco and they loved it and they didn't have an issue whatsoever. So that's the reason why I don't really like to share like negative experiences, because they're just mine. I would possibly consider going back, but only with a man. I would not go by myself, and I would not go with another woman. That's just my personal opinion.